I just realized why it is that my mom would watch the same fucking soap opera every day. General Hospital, One Life to Live. Sometimes things in life are just crazy where you just have to watch that shit like a train wreck. That's what's happening in ufology right now. In a little circle of ufology friends, there's a bit of a rift. I'm not even going to comment anymore about it, but shit, I'm like cooked on this. I feel like I'm watching like Luke and Laura right now. It's the craziest thing. This is episode number 397 of the UFO Buster Radio News Report. If you guys recall, a few weeks ago I said we're moving to Monday and Tuesday. Now, and of course that's going to change this coming week because I'm going to be out of pocket, as they say in the corporate world. It won't be available, but we're going to do something. I'm going to try to put something together, maybe something pre-recorded, so I can listen to myself while I'm on the road. This last Saturday, we had a great episode with Chris Garcia, the psychic from San Antonio, and he was on the Dark Horde episode, number 21. And when I tell you, Chris was on fire. He really was. He was really into the whole psychic thing. And I say psychic thing because I'm not psychic, but, it's a thing. It really is. People love it. They love psychics. Yes, there are some bad ones out there. There are some fake psychics. There are people that will read you like a book and try to get some money out of you. But still, there are some people that have a gift. He's one of them. And no, he's not 100% correct. Fuck, if he was 100% correct, he'd probably walk on water now, wouldn't he? So yeah, there's a level of error to this because we are human nonetheless. But the fact that he can pick up not a single fact of truth in your day, in your week, out of nowhere, out of thin air, without you giving a hint, it's fantastic. Because shit, some of the stuff he guessed, said, I wouldn't have guessed, should I say. I wouldn't have guessed none of that things. Come on. It's just completely out of the realm of imagination, of just being there. And I cannot figure out how the fuck psychics do it. What do they see? What do they hear? It's driving me insane. That's what I want to find out. So we're going to get together. We're going to get a YouTube, I don't know. A lot of people like to say round tables, but ain't shit round about the YouTube platform. So we're just going to get a bunch of psychics together on YouTube for one of the Dark Court episodes for the month of August. And it's going to be a free-for-all. Honestly, a free-for-all. So you guys can call in, even if you don't believe. No fucks are given. Just call in anyway. And be surrounded by the psychics. And see what goes down. Maybe you'll figure something out. And I'll be honest. Like if you got a reading and shit didn't jive, wait a week or two. Then go back to that reading and see if something hits the spot for you. I want to say hello to the guys that are in the live chat right now. We got Green Man. We got Zachariah. Haven't seen Zachariah around for a while, but I know he's always out there, that's for sure. We got Dre and Game Vet. Game Vet has arrived. Yeah. Some of these guys know about the ufological drama. But hey, it's exciting nonetheless. I love it. I think it's fun and, gets the blood going. It doesn't have to be boring all the time. Shit, let's have a couple of feuds. That's the way it should be all the time. No kidding. So we've got 3 stories today. Some of them, I just don't know. But I say that all the time now, don't I? But these stories, there is one out of the UK that I wish we had more information about. We just didn't. It just didn't go down because in and of itself, it appeared to be something that could have had more meat to it, actually. But it was a local paper in one of the counties out there that reported it. So you could tell they really gave no fucks about the story, but there is something there. Hopefully somebody else picked it up along the way. Because the image that you have right now on your mobile device of that tree area with a lot of freaking trees fallen in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by a lot of trees that were standing, no scorch marks. That's the story we're going to talk about. And like I said, they really didn't do a good job in interviewing this guy or investigating it. They just threw it together for fuck's sake. Here you go. That's the way it goes. And, hey, what can you do? And yeah, Green Man, that's true. A lot of psychics, they don't use draconian math. I believe that 100%. Let's get to the first track, and then we'll talk about this news reports. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say this. Podcast might, and if you can hear it in my throat, it's not that I'm sick. It's not like a COVID-19 thing. It's bugs. His farts are so bad tonight. They are horrible. He's cleared every single room in the house because it's atrocious. Like we're looking around to see if he shoots out a pellet from all the gas that he has, and we have no idea why. The food hasn't changed, but what I tell you, this thing is thick. It's hard to breathe. And we'll tell him, go to your happy place. Please, go lay down on your bed. We're good. We're good. We'll pet you tomorrow. Well, let's get some of those little trees that you hang from the damn mirrors. We'll hang it to his little nub of a tail tomorrow. That we can get close to him. Because for the love of God, I don't know how he does this. The story says man says he discovered UFO crash site in Meddon Woods, Bideford. Now, I'm sure I jacked that up. The other day I was thinking about if I ever go to the UK, I'll be lost as fuck, because a lot of these towns and cities I can't pronounce the name, and everything ends with Shire. I'm gonna mess it all up. I'll be lost. I'll be completely lost. I guarantee you. Hopefully they got Google Maps out there, because I'll never get anywhere. So this guy just happened to come across a wooded area out in Meddon Woods, and he's out there. He's doing his thing. First of all, who the fuck knows what the hell he was doing? His name was Ben Landricombe. We'll just call him Ben for short. He was just walking in the countryside, and then he came across this area that was flattened, completely flattened. Now, how strange is that? Now, the first thing that you want to do is go ahead and look at the image that I used. That was a picture that he took of this area in the woods. So if you could imagine, you're walking to your favorite park, you're in the middle of the woods, and all of a sudden you come out to a clearing. Not really a clearing, because all the trees are flattened down and they're still green. If you look at the picture, the trees are actually still green, like it just recently happened. But there are no scorch marks. Like nothing. There wasn't something that fell from the sky, from space, that was on fire. It's sure as hell, if it was a man-made craft like a helicopter or an airplane, that should be still sitting there. Honestly. Probably blown up. If not, at least found in pieces. But that's not what he came across. He says that basically the foliage from the trees looked like they had been squashed by something falling at speed from the sky. Again, I don't know what speed that is, but at that speed, the Ben says, it fell from the sky. Of course, he ad-libs here. And he says, more than likely, it probably got snapped like a flying disc had descended and hit it from a height. We can only assume, right? We don't know what the hell it is. But the site it's pretty fucking weird. It's kind of like when you see those crop circles, right? You see the crops, they're in this crazy-ass shape. They're bent over, but they're not dead. They're still crops. The plants are fine. That's what this looks like. It looks like some alien who was probably maybe high on a little something, and he mistook the trees for an area of crops, and he started to do his thing, and the other alien clonked him on the head and said, no, these are trees? We don't do trees. We do like crops, smaller stuff. This is too complicated. And then they just left. But the area, we've got some evidence of something. What could it be? The other thing is, could someone have gone there and done this intentionally? And then for what reason? Now, that's always possible, right? I mean, it's humanity. We're fucked up in the head. We do stupid shit for any kind of reason. Maybe somebody had a new toy. Maybe they had a point to prove. Who fucking knows? But if you had something that you wanted to use that would normally scare the shit out of people out in Meddon or whatever this is, then you probably would do it in the middle of the woods where no one would see you except for Ben, because that's where he likes walking in the countryside. So this actually happened on July 13th, a week ago. It was a Monday. Ben recorded this on video. Now, this thing really doesn't say where he posted the video, so we're not really sure. It's not in the article. Like I said, the guy's over. What's the name of this publication here? Let's look at it. Nope, wasn't Scientific American. It was a Somerset Country Gazette. They gave no fucks about this guy. Like his story, they just threw it in there. Maybe to scare up some news, I guess, because they didn't go into any detail other than the fact that he posted a video. They got some pictures from it, and he thinks it's a UFO. You would think somebody out there would care about this because it's not every day that you see something like this. It is out of the norm. No pun intended. Out in Nevada. In the video, he goes on to say something has definitely crashed here. He goes, look at it. Boom. Weird. So he's related to John Madden. He says there's a massive gap in the woods and there's trees standing all around it. And the other thing is, it's not like a gigantic debris field. It's not like there's 3 miles of trees that are down. It really looks like it's about maybe 20, 30 feet, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And then that's it. And then you get the regular trees again. It's bananas. I can see why he decided he needed to videotape this. And again, he's a local guy. I'm sure he's been in the area plenty of times, out of Devon. So I'm sure to him, this was completely crazy and completely out of sorts. It's like walking through fucking Central Park. And you see this all of a sudden, besides some of the drug dealers. And you're like, shit, what the hell just happened here? I would be concerned. Wouldn't you guys? Yeah. Dre says the picture looks like a Bigfoot nest. That's a big-ass Bigfoot to have a nest. Or maybe it's a poop from planes. I don't know. Zachariah says hot air balloons. Zach, Zach, I got to stop the podcast here. Listen, Zach. We're not going to talk balloons on UFO Buster Radio. I think we've had enough of balloons for one weekend. Thank you, Zach. We need to stay away from that topic. Balloons are a no-no. But please, we can definitely think about any other type of object that could have created this significant mess in the middle of nowhere. That's all I'm saying. Take a look at the article. They didn't do it justice. And really, we needed somebody out there who follows UFOs, who are researchers, because there's a ton of them in the UK, to have gone out there and done their thing. Look for radioactivity, look for some kind of evidence, physical evidence, maybe drum up some kind of an explanation as to what the hell went down in the middle of the woods. But you know what they say, and if a tree falls in the middle of the woods, does anybody fucking even hear it? Hell, does anybody even fucking care? That's probably what the real question is.
cry. I'll do what it takes to make you believe. With my heart on hyperdrive, we do what we want, but we're not free. With our hearts on hyperdrive.
Have mercy. I'm being gassed right now. This is really bad. It's terrible. And he will not move. I can't even scoot up to the microphone because he's determined to put me out of my misery. Jesus, I don't understand how this is happening. It's really sad. What's even more sad is what's happening in Mexico. Oh my God, I can't do this. I cannot deal with stuff like this. This article is from TheGuardian.com. And it says, Space Oddity, Mexican group claims alien base offers hurricane protection. What in the world is going on south of the border? That's exactly what they're claiming. They're pretty much saying that the Gulf cities have little to zero fear that a hurricane is going to cause any damage, period. Because there is a base offshore that is protecting them from hurricanes. How the hell does that happen? How does this happen? I don't understand. Yeah, so you guys who are on the Gulf of Mexico and are actually in Mexico, not just the folks like, South Padre and McAllen and all you guys down there. No, you guys are fucked. If a hurricane comes, you're fucked. But if you're past that border towards the south, you're protected. There's an alien base known as Amupac. Amupac. I don't know how you say that. How would you say that in Spanish? Amupac. I don't even know where they came up with the name from. But apparently, Juan Carlos Ramon Lopez Diaz, he is the president of the. There's another one. He is the president of the Association of Scientific UFO Research in Tamaulipas, and they also go by the acronym ICOT. ICOT. I don't know how the fuck they got that acronym from that. I don't know. Anyway, he believes, or they believe, thanks to him, because he is the one who started this, that basically there is an interdimensional underwater base of ETs that protects the coastal cities of Madero and Tampico. And they've been protected by this underwater base of aliens of interdimensional origin for more than 50 years. And we're just finding this shit out now. Like 50 years. These guys have had the answer to the UFO thing. And we just figured it out just now. Yeah. Thanks to Juan Carlos Ramon Lopez Diaz. We'll just call him Juan for the moment. Yeah. So he says this. That he's found that Amupac, via astral projection, which he says he induced through meditation and the pescatarian diet. The pescatarian diet. I don't think I've ever heard of that combination together, but for the love of sake, for Pete's sake, for the love of God, apparently we all need to do that to get some protection from hurricanes. He says it's also recommendable to ascend astral constructions like temples and pyramids that have a stairs at a degree of 45 degree angle. Because I don't know why, because the article doesn't even say it. For fuck's sake. Like, who wrote this stuff? It must have been those interdimensional people off the shore, because it doesn't even say why the heck he's recommending that people go to temples and pyramids that are at a 45 degree angle. That's a long trip down if you fuck up. Anyway, the city of Madero suffered 4 direct landfalls in the 20th century, including Bugs, you gotta go. Hurricane Inez in 1966, which killed 74 people in Mexico alone. But apparently, ever since that was the turning point. That's when these interdimensional beings decided to build this place off the shore, off the coast, in the Gulf of Mexico, and protected these 2 cities. I don't understand why, or when, or why, or how. And what's the end game here? Lopez believes from his astral projections that it was right after Hurricane Inez that this happened. And there's other explanations that he sees for this being factual. Some of the things that he says is that basically these interdimensional aliens are protecting the city of Madero. And then many of the fellow investigators within the city also believe this. Some of the other ones believe that it's actually the people and their esoteric power of the members of the group IOCOT, or IOCOT, that believe in the base, and their collective mind powers are charging the belief, and so is generating a force field that is actually that it's actually keeping away hurricanes. That is some Stephen Greer shit right there. That is like this guy right now he's reached the level of Stephen Greer. Like the people in this town, in this city, they are willing the hurricanes away because of their belief in interdimensional beings. This is Mexico's version of Stephen Greer. I believe that. I really do. He's an interesting character for sure. It's too bad we haven't heard about this. But for 50 years, they've been mind-fucking nature and keeping hurricanes away. I mean, that's just, it's amazing. I can't believe it. Of course, nothing goes down at this level in Mexico and south of without Jaime Maussan sticking his 2 cents into it. And of course, you know, Jaime Maussan is Mexico's #1 ufologist and anything paranormal, actually. He's into all that shit, like mummies, fake alien mummies, and fairies, and all kind of craziness. But he says he really was not even aware. He wasn't aware that this was going on, and that his team of researchers never heard of this. For 50 years, Jaime Maussan has been clueless about the powers of the people in the city of Madero. I guarantee you that's come to an end right now. There is going to be like a 5-month long freaking expose by Jaime in this place, guaranteed. And he's probably going to go in there and find some more alien mummies and some fairies, some chupacabras. He's going to find it all in this one spot because the people there will it. The people there are mind strong. So yeah, he had no idea, and his actual remark on what on the story when it was shared with him was that the theory was curious. Come on, you know, anyone that knows Jaime Maussan knows that their dollar signs were running through his eyes like in the Bugs Bunny cartoons, Looney Tunes, when he heard that. I'm telling you, he's going to set up shop there. He really is. Also, a local climate scientist, Dr. Rosario Romero, he's only got 2 names. He says that he agreed with the fact that the city of Madero had a pretty damn good streak of being hurricane-free, which was fascinating and interesting, but not exactly that is as something that's unexplained. It's a weather pattern. It's a weather phenomena, but it is not people yielding force field from their brain thanks to interdimensional beings. You got to check out the article. There's a lot more to it, a lot more information about this particular two towns, Tampico and Madero, and the history of the people there. But really, this particular team really deserves some attention. We need to find out what kind of cult shit they're up to. If it is, it really sounds kind of cultish, to be honest. Or it sounds like they've got a hold of a couple Greer videos, and now they're doing their own thing down in Mexico. I don't know which one it is, but it's fascinating to think that that's possible. But then again, what the fuck? Anything's possible, right? Anything is possible. So maybe with enough of them together, like maybe half the town, half the city, maybe they can stop hurricanes. But it would be really fucked up if this year is the year that hurricanes go down in Madero, Tampico. That would really suck. One more article for tonight. Keep the peace, people.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record, yeah. For the record, yeah. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price for y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. Frozen. H6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ballin' age. I'm flipping the bars and flipping the. On record, off record, I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record, I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record, I still want the act, not the ghost. Running through it with the young influence, adolescent presence. I'm succumbing to it. I've been giving yeses when I shouldn't do it. I complete ejected with them losing. And I'm barely moving, but I'm still gon' boost them. I can't work on winners when I know you're losing. So I went the winners and they throw reducers. Guess I have to pivot, shooting the bazookas for the facts. I need racks, paper, cash, bucket tax. That's a joke. Tell them laugh. Uncle Sam, fuck out the bag. Brody plot, we'll get a whack. Contract, give me the max. I got lab on my back. You ain't that, then it's raps. Whoa. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record.
Last article for tonight, and then we're just gonna call it quits because I need to get some air freshener up here. It's really bad. This article is actually from the Express UK, and no, it's not about pareidolia Pete. And listen, I've kind of gained a new appreciation for pareidolia Pete over this past weekend, to be honest, because you know what, he's got a point of view. He sees things, you know. From now on, I'm just gonna let him speak his piece. Pareidolia Pete, Scott C. Waring. I'm going to comment on it, no doubt about that, because honestly, For about 3 years now, it's been no fucks given around here. But I won't be so harsh on you. I really won't, Paradolia. But it is what it is. This particular article is a quick hit. NASA, how the space agency was forced to admit there's a possibility aliens are out there. Now, we said last week, they had that big article talking about, we need to make some rules, people. We need to sit down and talk about when people come back from Mars, they can't be stepping in all that goo and coming back and killing us off with COVID-629. That really is what they're telling us, right? They're telling us when they send a bunch of rubber dickers up to the Mars, or they send a bunch of rubber dickers up to the moon, they're going to be stepping on shit. And more than likely, we know microbes exist in some of the harshest conditions. So more than likely, no matter what they do, in order to keep microbes, alien microbes, and bacteria off of their SpaceX suits, chances are some of that shit is going to hitch a ride. And so they're saying we need to have some kind of directive here to keep us from getting contaminated when people, happy-go-lucky, bring back shit from these places. And it doesn't just have to be, the moon and Mars. Eventually, we're going to hop skip to the rest of the damn planets, I'm sure. But that's what they were thinking about. But this article is saying that there was a time back in 2007 when people started calling out NASA. And we've seen lately that slowly but surely they're being more open to the conversation of intelligent life somewhere else. You can go on a NASA site and see calculations about that, right? Thanks to the fact that they've got these, space telescopes out there tracking down other planets. And not just other planets, but planets in the Goldilocks zone. So yeah, you kind of have to have that conversation and at least acknowledge that there is a much greater possibility because you're the rubber dickers who are finding the fucking planets. So you can't just sit around and deny that it's not possible when you're looking for it. So this article was interesting to me, to say the least, just because of the responses that NASA gave. In 2007, apparently a person decided to call them out on it. So they posted a question on NASA's Lunar Science Institute, which is right now apparently known as the Solar System Exploration Research Virtual Institute. Fuck. These names are incredible. Can we just keep it short? The person wrote this: why is it that the government and NASA both continue to ignore the almost certainty of intelligent life throughout all of space? Now, there's a whole thing here that they wrote in there about being ignorant, man just being completely arrogant about thinking that we're the only intelligent life in the universe and all this kind of stuff. So David Morrison, who at the time apparently was the interim director of NASA's Institute, said this: I don't know who you are complaining about in the government and NASA. I have never heard the sort of denial you refer to. Of course, there's a possibility and indeed a probability of life, including intelligent life. So far, we see no evidence of it, but that doesn't keep people from looking. This is what I understand. The truth is that really has not been the mantra. It really hasn't. Hell, you could pull up old documentaries about space in our solar system and you'll see what it was. Because a lot of what NASA was espousing back then, it's what's included in those documentaries. And none of it talks about other life within our own solar system, let alone our galaxy or the universe. Not in these words, not in the context that they were placed in this particular conversation. It's fascinating because today we see and we know that it's a little different. The perspective has opened up a lot more because they're actively looking. Another person decided to ask another question. Do you believe that aliens exist? I don't know. Someone just got happy-go-lucky that day and started posting all kind of crazy shit on the NASA website, but they decided to respond. For this one, Brad Bailey, and he was an NLSI staff scientist, he says, I suppose I'm curious as to your definition of aliens, and whether you include all life as we know it, or just intelligent life. See? They gotta fuck with you one way or another. They gotta jerk your chain. Of course he's fucking talking about Graylians. Come on. He's talking about the little green dudes. But his response is accurate. Because they've been taking us down this road, this so-called controlled disclosure, which is going to lead us to microbial life. Martian amoebas. That's where we're headed. Europa amoebas. We're not going to find a bunch of fish swimming in Europa. We're going to find amoebas first. We're going to fly by. We're going to pick up some samples. This time we'll have a satellite that has a few microscopes. And there you go. Europa amoebas. And eventually they'll crash a little fucker ship into the oceans. And then they'll see the fish. But the bottom line is that whether it is E.T. phoning home or an amoeba, if it's on another planet, it's fucking alien life. There's just no way to put it. That really is what it is. And the fact is, they knew that. That's why they came out with that shit. Now, the funny thing is that the one thing they haven't done, even since 2007, is actually look for actual life right now everywhere else. Everything is in the past. Ancient life. All the planets that they've examined are billions and millions of light years in the past. Those are the lights that we're looking at. That's the image we see. The rovers are all looking for ancient life. Not a single one is looking for life now, though we've seen cyclical waves of carbon in the air of Mars. And methane, but still, we're taking down the path of basically discovering and taking baby steps that are going to last generations unless an actual ET decides to show the hell up and basically, take out his testes on a White House lawn and say we're here. There's more to this article. There was a lot more conversation from these guys as far as them questioning the fact that NASA at the time was being so cloak and dagger about their ideas. And let's be honest, anyone that's into the study of space and planetary development and astrophysics, they are totally and unequivocally chasing life elsewhere. But it is their cohorts, their colleagues, who look at them like they're total fucking idiots that keep them from speaking out. But it's changing. It really is. This is the episode for today. I just want to make one comment. I found out something this weekend. And that is, if you really want to study UFOs, you gotta have a tripod. I've never heard this before. Tripods are apparently the thing. I've got one. Actually, I think I've got two. But for fuck's sakes, I've never even thought about walking around with a tripod. Ufology research is really complicated. You just don't know what to do these days. There are so many techniques. So many things that you can do to find yourself a UFO. But shit, I never would walk around with a tripod. Not even on my most Heineck day would I ever do that. So, for fuck's sake, get yourself a tripod, people, and stop screwing around. I'll be back tomorrow with some space news, because apparently SpaceX ain't doing shit. They're taking a break. Ciao.
mission. Had to do it all to survive the nightfall.